Welcome back to another episode of AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Okay. Mark acts really weird.
Yeah, I'm not good at not introducing, but I do like when Amanda does it. I just don't know what to do with my hands. I'm just kidding. That's from. I don't know.
I think he gets excited. I think he gets excited to record with me because when he has guests on, he has to be a little bit more serious.
I mean,
Not just
yeah.
more like so when I come into the studio with him, he just starts making all these weird noises. I'm like, can you chill out? Like, okay.
Yeah, that's a way to interpret it. Yeah.
So, what color do we think my hair is?
What the fuck?
Brown, brown or blonde?
It's turning into a pop culture show here, real quick.
Brown or blonde? Let us know in the comments.
Blonde.
The light makes it look blonde, but when it's not light on it, it is brown.
Yeah. In the dark.
And
yeah.
My hair was
pitch black,
completely brown for sure, like last episode, and we forgot to talk about it.
Yeah.
We were just so into it.
And now it's no longer brown. What happened? It's a big conspiracy.
It is brown.
Ish. Yeah, I don't know.
Mark's like, I'm sorry, but your hair looks exactly the same as it did when you got it colored.
Yeah. You're doing that whole microphone into the nose thing again.
And
there you go.
And I'm like,
angles.
No, it does not. Like, are you blind? Like, do you look at me? I'm sorry. I have like a hair in my ear or something.
Yeah, you just gotta pull it out. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so Mark, our topic for today is.
I wanted to talk about. I don't normally pick the topics, but occasionally I was feeling it today because I just recorded an episode of FBP, Fueled by Progress. Check it out. This will drop after that episode, so I'll leave a link in the description to it. Long conversation I had with a good buddy of mine. Recently connected with not too long ago, but we've chatted about like cryptocurrency and a lot of other things. But that's not really what the conversation was. Is partially, but the topic, to get to it, and we'll allude more back to that. But just in general, the whole stuff that's going on is kind of risk, and that's just like taking risks in your life and opportunities, and just seizing a lot of the bullshit, like cliche stuff that people say, like seize the day and all that shit, like carpe diem, like was big, I don't know if it still is, or like, was at one point, I know. And really just, again, opportunities and risk taking, I think, is a really good, important thing that we should talk about here. It's something
What was big?
Carpe diem.
What's that?
Means seize the day in like foreign language, Latin or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. Fact check me on that one. But again, that's just something that I think is really important because if you don't take risks and you don't try to seize the opportunities that you have available to you in life, you could be in for quite a boring time, and you'll probably live with a lot of regret. Because I really believe that if you take a risk or try to go for an opportunity that comes your way and you fail, at least you learn something. At the end, like you might fail and it might just be shitty, but at least like, okay, well, I did this, maybe I should have done something else, or this, that, or the other thing, or the way you would have played it out and everything. Like if you have the opportunity to start a business and it fails, well, at least you know one way to not run a business, and you could try again. But if you never take that opportunity, you haven't learned anything, and you have no idea what the future would have held if you would have tried. So I'm not relating it specifically to business. There's millions and millions of different things that we all take risks on and have opportunities in. But that's kind of the general overview, and I can give some more depth to it as we go here. But we chatted a little bit about this over dinner, some Mexican food, before we stepped in the studio here, and Amanda asked me, like, when I brought it up to her, she's like, "Do I take any risks?" And we chatted about some of those. So I don't know. I mean, if you want to give your thoughts on the topic overall, and then we could just dive into some of that. Maybe that's a good idea.
Well, Mark mentioned like leaving my job. So I left my job of like Dunkin' Donuts for like 4 years, and I went to work at Rite Aid to be a pharmacy technician. And I was only there for like 3 months, and it was totally not worth it. But I'm glad I did it because it was a great experience. And because of that, I left Dunkin' Donuts and I got some. Like I just can't even I can't even believe that I was a pharmacy technician for like 3 months.
Solid 3 months.
First off, there's a lot of math in that. And,
Yeah, counting.
well, counting. No, you have to like put the prescriptions in. Like you get the prescription from the doctor.
Yeah.
And I had to type them up and put them in like for the pharmacist, and then the pharmacist would have to review it and make sure it was
What
good.
are you typing in?
Like, say I have to get like my birth control refilled.
Yeah.
A lot of them are electronic, so it comes in on the computer.
Right.
So you can just read it, but then a lot of them are on paper, and the doctors write it down, and it'll be like refill like birth control, for like a year, or it's like refill pills, like how many in the pills, and you have to like do the math. Like I don't know. I'm not a math girl, but somehow I had this little notebook, and I managed to write down like all the little tricks and stuff that they told me, and somehow I managed to like just look at my book and be able to like do it. And I was actually really good. I was actually really good at it. Like a couple months after I left to go to another daycare job. I don't want to get too much into it because, there's like multiple risks in my life, not just like the job thing, but I think that's a big one. And my the pharmacist wanted me to come back. I was like, no. No, I didn't answer. He left me a voicemail. I felt really bad. He was a great guy. I loved him. But yeah.
Nice.
So I left. I, got a couple different jobs. I guess that's a risk. I think right now, like with fitness, I'm trying to do like a fitness challenge. So I guess that's a risk. What do you say?
Yeah. I mean, I think the job one makes a lot of sense because it's moving from something that you're comfortable with to something that you're new to.
Yeah.
The other thing we talked about is every single thing that you kind of do is kind of a risk. Just walking outside in a way, all that sort of shit is. But it's on a like a scale. So skydiving is more risky than walking down the street in a sense, right? But a lot of the stuff is the interesting thing that I find is that skydiving might be like objectively risky because like a cord could snap and you could die or some shit, or like I guess that's like bridge jumping or whatever. But what I'm saying, like you cannot have a parachute if you're skydiver or whatever. But there's other things that are like kind of risky, but they're also like made up in a sense. Like what's the real risk of you quitting your job and moving to and moving to another career? You could probably always come back, and there's a high likelihood that if you're doing it just with some ideas in mind, it's kind of just it's what I think risk is kind of based in fear in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to be afraid is really kind of one of the things that I'm starting to learn, especially from that, like I said, that conversation yesterday, is I just don't want to be afraid of shit because you only get one life and we don't know how long we're going to have. And I want to continue to try to live this fueled by progress mentality, but just living as moment to moment as I can, like obviously planning for the future and things like that, but also enjoying every moment. There was a part in our discussion where my buddy Joe, he said something like, you can go year to year and you can say, I want to have a house by this time, this. And I was like, what the fuck? I do that. And he's like, he basically like compared that to speeding through life because you're just trying to get to like goal to goal to goal. It wasn't that simple. It wasn't that straightforward. And it also varies person to person. Like you can still have goals but also live in the moment type thing. I'm all over the place. But the point is that when you bring it back and just go like risks and opportunities, right? Let's say, for instance, the plan is to have a home in Pittsburgh in 2 years, like an actual house or whatever. But something happens and we have a really good opportunity to move somewhere else, like to Texas. I'm not actually saying Amanda's not happy about that.
I was just telling my mom about that yesterday.
What?
About how you want to move to Texas. And I was like,
I mean, I wouldn't call it like a want. I would just say that like it's an option. Like there's no reason for me to just like up and move there other than like warmer weather and I don't know, just kind of like relatively chiller in nature, but like here's what I'm saying is if you have an opportunity, at least consider it, right? If I'm not in this position, but like let's say you get a job offer and it's across the country, don't just say no because it's something outside of your comfort zone. Is really what it comes back to.
no.
You don't have to say yes. I'm just saying don't say no immediately. It's like your first
No.
step. Your first step should be, let's think about it.
No.
Like, does it make sense? Oh my God. Okay. All right.
No, I am the type of person that I cannot imagine leaving my friends and family.
Maybe that's a bad example then.
Yeah.
I
No. mm, Um. Um. Lauren Giraldo. She just.
Geraldo.
I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. She moved to
Phoenix,
It's in Scottsdale.
Arizona.
Scottsdale.
Close.
From LA. She lived in LA, so it's a huge difference.
What? What do you mean it's a huge difference?
It's a huge difference.
In what aspect?
LA is like LA. Like there's so much
LA
crazy.
is LA. I've never even been there, but it's LA.
There's so much
It's
crazy
LA.
traffic, and it's just like so Hollywood, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's like actually a regular area. So she has a lot of good point of views on that. But she left her family when she was like 18. I just can't imagine, like 17. I just can't imagine leaving. Not only my mom, but like I was just thinking about like my friends, like my close friends. Like I just can't imagine like leaving them and only seeing that. Like I barely see them now. Like when would I see them? Let's be honest, Mark. Like you don't have that many friends.
Me? Yeah, I don't have any friends.
You don't have that. I mean,
I have a lot of
you
people
have a
that
lot.
know me.
Yeah, you have a lot of people who are you.
I wouldn't say I have no friends.
No.
But yeah, not
No,
the
you
not
don't have
the
a lot of super close
traditional sense of the word friends. But I actually, this is a deeper. You keep going, and then I'll come back to this because it's a
I was just saying you don't have a lot of super close friends.
right. Yeah.
I just can't imagine leaving and like only seeing my friends. Like, when will I even see them? Or like, I know like we all live this one life and you should like live it to the fullest. But like, I just can't imagine like leaving and then like my whole life, the rest of my life, like not seeing my mom. And then like one day she's gonna die, and it's like I could have spent all this time with her.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's my life, but and like my aunt and uncle and my little cousin, like I'm just super. I guess I'm just super close with the people I love, so I just can't imagine leaving them. And like
Yeah.
I don't think you feel the same way.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want you to take this perspective and apply it to your life, but I'm going to give you my perspective, and anybody that has maybe the same or different one, let us know in the comments. That's not the perspective that I have, because you're going to feel bad generally when people die anyway, and you're always going to say, "Oh, I could have spent more time with them." So, it's like you could spend every waking moment with somebody and it's still probably going to hurt if you have that perspective, like, and I think about this a lot too, because I have like, my grandmother, for instance, I see like, generally once a week, like on the weekends, like when we go to work, right? I don't really see her throughout the week. My grandmother that owns a restaurant, Conchetta. And at some point she's going to pass away, right? But I just make the most out of the time that I have with her generally. Like I always joke with her and try to, make her, giggle or whatever, or laugh at me, like just being an idiot, like at the restaurant, because those are the things that I enjoy like interacting with her? Do I enjoy just like I enjoy talking to her, having conversations, stuff like that. But everything in life is a fucking balancing act. Like I'm starting to realize that more and more. Like I want to do so much shit. There's no way I could possibly fucking devote the amount of time. Even if I didn't sleep and I had, 20 more hours in a day, there's no way I could get to all of it. So, and there's no way that I can I'm actually this is in the same realm and goes back to the friends thing. I actually have a slight irrational fear. And it's that all the people that I am starting to connect with more on like just social media and just like putting stuff out there, people saying things like, AM and PM too, like, any fans that we have, like that type of thing. I'm actually slightly concerned that I'm not going to be able to dedicate enough time to like talking to them and potentially meeting up with them and things like that to validate that whole relationship. Cause this is a weird thing. We talked about this before in like our, becoming influencer type shit. It's like, it's so one way in a lot of senses. You're just putting information out there and everything that it's not like a friendship. Like
You're going off on a tangent.
I am. Thank you for reeling me in.
Can you pause?
Thank you for reeling me in. If those roles were reversed, to be like, shut up, Mark.
No, because I wanted to comment on what you're saying.
Yeah.
One, I actually feel good about the amount of time I spent with my grandparents before they passed away.
Yeah.
But like if I were to move to a different state,
yeah,
it would not be the same. I would not be able to see them as much, or my mom as much,
right,
or whatever. So that's different.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was just thinking, like I don't know, we're doing all this shit and stuff like that, like, do you think one day, what if there would be an opportunity for us to move because of like all the shit we do?
Well, given the way that the world is going and is currently, I don't actually think that would be. I think more likely would be like you can live wherever the fuck you want. You just travel more. I think would probably be more likely, especially because
I would like to travel.
Yeah, I don't actually like to travel personally. I don't like to fucking fly that much. That's annoying as hell. But yeah, what were you saying? I forgot. Go ahead.
This podcast I listened to, the two women live in completely different states.
They do it over like Zoom or some shit?
I don't know how they do it.
They probably do it over Riverside.
I don't know how they do it, but the quality is pretty good. So do you think they like both talk into microphones and then they just like put it together? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ways you can do it.
I'll have to look it up, but then they get together to go on like little trips and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know if that opportunity would ever present itself. Like I said, it'd probably be more like traveling if there's anything like that, which would be nice, occasionally and stuff. But
I don't know. I guess you're right. I should be more open. I should be more open to it. It's just like I hear it and I'm like, no. I guess I should be more open to it if the time.
Well, it brings up an interesting conversation because on a smaller scale, a smaller geographical scale, we can say, is another big thing that like I was thinking about. So go back to the conversation about risk-taking opportunities and all that. I actually am starting to get, after that conversation, just like even like I was in my head so much like earlier today, I was like, I need to talk about this. And this idea of risk-taking is prevalent. It was very prevalent in my life. Best risk that we were talking about earlier, best risk that I think I've ever taken is quitting my job because I'm now able, like I'm just free. I'm able to do all the stuff that I want. And the next risk, and like a bunch of them, or let's talk about this one. One thing that is interesting to me and that we need to cross the bridge very soon is like moving out, right? And we're going to do that this year. And that is one that is unique in a sense. A lot of people don't have good relationships with their parents. Now, you and I tend to have good relationships with our parents, but again, I almost feel like it's a balancing act sometimes, right? It's like, that's really cool that, I want to be friendly with everybody, obviously, and especially the people in my family. But at the same time, though, there everything starts to get to the point where it's like, okay, it's like starting to be a little more harmful than good in a way. This is hard for me to articulate because I don't know how the fuck to say this. But what I'm saying is, I genuinely feel at this point, if we don't take the risk, then it's just going to start hurting us, right? We need to start our life like fully. We need to have that more assumed responsibility of having a place to look after and having to get food into the house and having to make more money to support things. And money is a whole different conversation that like is another fucking thing. But those types of things, like that is a risk. That's not like it's a risk that basically everyone needs to take, but you don't see it that way sometimes. Like it's just like, oh, well, we got to move out. But honestly, I'm starting to feel in like a different psychological way. It's like I need to take another one. Like I need to
You need to take another risk.
I when I left the job thing, okay, that was such a fucking weird time because I felt so shitty, right? And then like I told my mom, and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean?" I was like, "I need to do something. I feel like shit. I have to change something." And then I did that.
That was so crazy.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh, it's just, but that's what I mean. That's what I fucking mean is that it feels so fucking weird and everybody's so shocked and it's like so scary for 2 seconds. And then you do it and it's like, well, okay, then maybe I have to navigate this a little bit, but what the fuck? Like, you're going to be fine. You're going to die. You're going to die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that is the, the hand motions. And
You're going to die. You're going to die.
I mean, it's the truth, though.
Oh, my God.
Like, we're all going to die one day. And why would we not do the things that we want to do and try to seize the opportunities and take the risks that we feel we should make? And I have this weird thing where it's like, you know, over time, I was like, why am I feeling so shitty? I use this constantly as an example because it's the only one really that I've taken to this point. And that's like really the only big one. And in my gut, I was like, I feel terrible. I need to do something. I just let it linger and linger. But now it's like I have more gut feelings where it's like, okay, we absolutely need to move out. Like, honestly, I truthfully believe that there's a lot of times in life where, let's say you have an option like moving out, okay? And let's say you move out, and let's say us, okay? We have to move out. It has to happen. So we move out in 2021. Maybe, I wouldn't say before we're ready by any means, but like where we're like, which is, it's closer, right? It's in 2021. But let's say, for instance, we stay until 2023. Can you imagine like, it'd be very interesting to see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Because here's what I'm saying. Like, I would argue that both of our relationships with our respective parents are starting literally potentially at the peak, maybe actually a little bit past the peak. You understand what I'm saying? This is just an example, so don't take this, like, apply this to your own life. But what I'm saying is, sometimes in life, there's scenarios where there's the diminishing returns, right? So like you're going up, it's great. And then it's like you don't make a decision or you don't do something, and then it starts to be like, okay, it's just this is literally the perfect example because we're adults now, and it's like we need to take the next step, and we should take the next step as soon as possible because it's probably going to start negatively affecting our relationships with our parents. Just as an example, maybe you don't feel the same way, but I know that I do because I'm confined to a fucking room and it's in their house and the fucking TV's loud as fuck when I'm trying to sleep and when I'm trying to record videos. And it's like, there's no reason for this to happen, you know? And we should, when you take the risk that like is a risk because it's different, then boom, you move out.
My mom is literally gonna like be a wreck. We were just talking about this yesterday.
Well, it's funny because I said the same thing over dinner the other day. Go ahead, you go first.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think so. I'm her only child.
Right.
Oh my God. We were talking about this the other day. I said that my mom would rather have me live with her forever than have Mo live with her. And my mom laughed so hard. Like, too hard. And Mo was right there. And I kind of felt bad. She laughed so hard. Like,
Yeah.
really, really hard. Like,
Yeah.
she thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I said that over, like, I've consistently been saying that, like, only gonna be in this house for
yeah, I
like
just,
less than a year now at this point. And yeah, I don't think my parents like that either. Again, it's a difference. Like, it's a
no, my mom says she's prepared. She says she's prepared for me to move out, and she knows I'm taking Minnie. So she's like, when Mark is busy recording on Saturdays, will you come see your mom? I mean, I'm still gonna try to, like, go hang out with her on the weekend and stuff, but um, she's like, maybe Minnie will miss me if I come to your house and see her. I don't know. And then my stepdad is always like, how are you going to be able to cook for yourself and blah, blah. I'm excited
figure it out, man.
to be able to, like, have my own kitchen and be able to, like, do whatever I want and learn. Like, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. Like, there are all these recipes I see that I want to do, and I just don't do any of it now because I just still live at home, and it's just like, I'm just really, really excited to just have, like, a whole different atmosphere.
I just think one of my fears, I guess, that I've just developed here is that I think a life without risks or life without change, seizing those opportunities, is just fucking boring. You know, and just makes you, like, lethargic and complacent. And yeah, I feel terribly when I think about that. A life without all that. And especially at how the world's changing and how all sorts of shit's going on. And like I said earlier, my buddy Joe that I had that conversation with is real big into crypto, and that was another thing. And that's actually one, we don't need to go into super detail, but I want to get way more into cryptocurrency. And I'm not going to go into detail, like I said, if you're probably not here for that, but you can check out, like, the other thing or whatever. And he has a YouTube channel on crypto, and we go a whole shitload into it. So if you want to check that link out, it'll be in the description. But something like that, where you have an opportunity, almost a once in a lifetime opportunity there, where you see where you think the world is going to go, where a certain thing is going to go, where your opportunity, where you could go, you got to fucking do it. I mean, like, I don't, like, what the fuck, man? I
would like to see you try to talk without your hands.
I'm going to tie him behind my back. Yeah.
Do I talk with my hands?
No, I think that's a stereotypical Italian thing.
It's a lot of the times I'm just watching your hands.
Yeah, it's kind of like I should be an actor or something. It's like a puppet show.
Yeah, but I think we need to sit down and really talk about this.
Moving out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
Like, really dive in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough doing everything else as well at the same time, because I try to be as productive as possible with all these other things. But that's just the other thing about life, is that I'm starting to realize quite quickly that if you're ambitious and you are a risk taker and you want to seize those opportunities, you're going to have a fuck ton. It's weird. When you're looking for things to do and looking for new things to learn and new opportunities to take advantage of, you get a fuck ton. And then you have people that are just complacent and don't do anything and don't even, like, turn over, like, the first stone that they see, and they're just chilling there and they're unhappy, or they say, whatever. If they're happy, then they're happy. But if they're not, then it's their fault. So I don't know. It's tough. But this is a fucking big deal. Like, this is not like moving out thing. Yeah. But the risk taking thing, the opportunity seizing, I'm really starting to realize that maybe you shouldn't seize every single one, because you might fucking, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm more amped up from that conversation than anything. But I really think that there's a lot of stuff that I personally can do, we can do, and I just I'm excited to keep fucking going. Is really the sentiment.
Yeah, I've probably taken more risks in the last year than I ever have in my life. So
Yeah. I mean, you're kicking butt. You're fucking doing the gym shit. I mean, we're not really going to the gym per se, but like, obviously all the workouts and everything, changed your diet. You've done all sorts of shit to your diet. I mean, experimentation wise, I guess.
yeah,
Here
I
and there.
gave up dairy. Was that last week? No, the week before. I gave up dairy for like 6 days. No. And immediately when I put it back into my diet, I felt 10 times better.
Yeah.
So it's not dairy that's wrong with me.
Yeah. But I mean, again, we said this earlier, I think off camera, even just like putting shit out there on social media it can be considered a risk. And I think is a really hard one for a lot of people because they only want it to be perfect. They only want to show the highlights. But if you show you after you are done with the workout and you're all sweaty and stuff and you're just saying some shit that you believe in and that you think other people can find value from, that's a huge risk for a lot of people. Again, risk is kind of relative, I guess, but I just want to be I just want to be more fucking, is it risk adverse? No, I think that's not liking risk. I just don't want to be fucking fearful of those types of things. I want to see something, see an opportunity, think about it for a little bit, see if it makes sense, and then just fucking attack it. Because I'm going to regret it if I don't. Like, I can't imagine how shitty I would feel right now if I wasn't in this position.
Yeah.
And it's just taught me a lot. The fragility of life.
What's that?
The fragility of life.
Yeah.
It's like how fragile life is. Like you could just die tomorrow.
You say some shit on this podcast all the time that I never know what the fuck it is. I'm just like, what does that mean?
You gotta hit the books, kid.
No.
I don't read. I'm just
Are
kidding.
you calling me stupid?
Wow, way to put words in my mouth. That's not at all what I said.
I'm just kidding.
Stupid. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just a guy, here, and I have conversations with people, and then I get some perspective and insight, and just given all those different things and how I want my life to be purposeful and fulfilled. And I put a story up. Did you see my story today on Instagram? Meaningful.
No.
You didn't see my story today. Nice.
I was busy.
It said, do you know your purpose?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I did.
It said yes or no. And then it said, if so, what is it? Answer that question. Go. Do you know your purpose?
I feel put on the spot. What's your purpose?
I'm not really sure. If I had to answer that question, I think it's kind of yes.
Wait, what's the question again?
Well, do you know your purpose, yes or no? And then if so, if yes, what is it?
To help people.
Yeah, I would say something similar right now. I'd say yes, and then
To help people.
that's pretty vague, but I would say to just continue to share knowledge and help people as well. I'd have to figure out. I'd have to go a little more in depth because that's something that I'm always trying to search for. But I've definitely gotten closer. I've definitely started to live it more, over the last 2 years. So that's exciting. But that type of conversation too, that was even in our, our FBP episode. That stuff is important. And you don't get to those places without taking risks and trying to seize those opportunities. And I don't know. It kind of is the other thing too is, when you put information out on the internet or like, your personality and things, you're not going to be liked by everyone, right? So in making decisions in life, you're not going to please everyone, right? Like somebody could ask you to do something and you really don't want to do it. Somebody asks you to do something and you don't want to do it. What are your options? You can say yes and do it, and maybe they're happy, but you're not happy. Or you could say no, and you're happy, but maybe they're not happy. So I just feel like it's like that all the time. There's always, you can't try to please everybody either in taking risks, in not taking risks, or not seizing those opportunities or whatever, because somebody's always going to fucking, whether it's you or the other person or, the other party or whatever, somebody's always going to get just kind of like maybe disgruntled or whatever. So I don't know. That's a different lesson for a different time, I guess. Don't try to please everyone, but yeah. Hard stuff, Life ain't that easy. Kind of scary sometimes, but just got to realize that don't take it too seriously. Try to continue to move forward.
Yeah, I have my exam soon.
Yes. CDA exam.
I'm scared
Why?
because I don't like tests.
It's not like a math test.
I know, but I just feel like the questions that they're going to ask me are going to confuse me.
Why?
Because it's going to be like the Pro Solutions test. It's going to be like those types of questions.
I mean, you live it every day, though.
I know, but I don't know.
Another part of that I would say is like mentally and psychologically, I really feel that you have more power than you think.
I know. I feel like I need to go in there and be like, I'm going to ace this
Yeah,
test.
I mean, not like ridiculously, not like, oh, I'm going to ace it. I don't even need to think about anything or work on anything or study anything.
No, but I think if I go in there with a positive mindset, I'll have more.
Yeah, after preparing, somewhat, yeah.
I'll have more of an outcome.
Yeah, I think that the mind plays a big part in all that.
I just have to really use my noggin,
The noggin.
I have, I think, an hour and 45 minutes to take it.
Yeah.
Basically, if I pass it. I can't believe
Get some letters.
I can't believe all I have left is the test.
Yeah.
Like, it has been a long journey.
I can't believe life is amazing, dude. We're only 20, 23, and 25, and I can't believe the things that not like I can't believe the things that we've done, but I can't believe like the time that has passed in a way. Like all of the individual events and days that have gone on, like just think back. Like there was a time where you were working at Dunkin' Donuts and now you are not working at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck happened between all that? It's like, it just happens. That's what I mean is life it just goes. And we can't be worried about, we gotta, to hit on that money thing real quick, because I think it's pertinent here. I don't know if it was just the way I was raised or if other people were raised this way, or maybe it's just like an American thing. It's like we put money so far ahead of everything else. And fuck, I love money. I like buying things that I need. I try not to be, crazy materialistic, but I really am starting to care about it less in a way. Not saying that I don't want money or we're going to fucking live off the land completely, or we're going to have no money. That's not what I mean. What I mean is you can care about money, but not make it the fucking number one priority in your life. Mm-hmm. And you can have probably a fucking better life than if you put money first. Because when you're worried about, defining your purpose, moving towards it, having a meaning and fulfilling life, taking those risks, getting those opportunities when you have them and capitalizing on them, that's going to lead to so much fulfillment in your life. And money is going to fucking come from that. If you put out value, you're going to find a way to survive, in the world, right? Mm-hmm. You're not just going to be some dude or some girl that's living their dream and everything like that and like is really happy, and there's no way to make a fucking livable income off of that. There's no way.
Yeah.
So, and you'll probably make more than a livable income, because people enjoy that, and people, the argument doesn't break down. If the argument breaks down, it doesn't make any sense that like, oh, you need to put money first and security and all that. It's like 100%. It's up there. So, and maybe that's a little off topic too, but it goes back to the risk thing, and it goes back to the opportunities. Is maybe it doesn't make sense right now, or maybe it does make sense, but it's not even, but it's not. The crypto thing is a great example. I know, again, we're not going to go deep into it, but the whole point of it is the U.S. economy is going to shit, and crypto is the off ramp, is like the next thing that everybody's gonna get to one day, but not enough people are there yet. Not like the normal person is there yet. So trying to get ahead of the curve is a way to do it, and that's as simple as I can put it. But it's one of those things where it's kind of a risk, I guess you could say, to most people, but it's also a huge fucking opportunity. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess. Only time will tell. But I really do believe that you're going to regret more things that you don't do than things that you do. Because you're not going to know. Not going to know what would have happened, what might have happened.
Who's going to know?
We're watching that TikTok. Nobody's going to know.
Who's going to know?
They're not going to know. They're going to know. How could they know?
But yeah, if you think about it, I mean, we're about to be together for 5 years in September, so a lot of time has passed.
Yeah, and it's been great, and we want to try to remember it as much as possible. But at the same time,
Who did I think it was my friend Lauren, who I'm super close with. I said that we are going to be together for 5 years in September, and she was like, only 5 years? I'm like, what do you mean? 5 years is a long time.
I feel like it's been my whole life. I mean, I can't. But then again, I have a terrible memory. So it's like, it's weird though. I mean, I actually,
don't ruin it.
Well, I actually do think that I live quite decently in the present. I know that I don't live in the past. I can't even fucking remember the past. So I know I don't live there. But, and then the future, I'm always thinking about it to a certain extent. But actually too, though, when you have a lot of things going on, I actually feel that you stay kind of in the good time frame.
Present, yeah.
Yeah, because like you're doing stuff.
Yeah, I think there was a period of time where I definitely just like wanted to move out, and it just sucked. But yeah, I'm trying to enjoy what I have now.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen sooner than later. It has to. We got to take that next step. I'm very excited for it. I'm not afraid at all. Not a bit.
Good.
Good. Not me too. Good. Not me neither.
Yeah,
Good.
I was like, Mark has a plan.
He's got a 5-year plan.
Like, Mark has a plan.
What is it? Don't die?
I trust him.
Big Daddy? No? Okay.
I'm just like, I trust what Mark's doing. I do.
Yeah. Well, I want you to trust yourself too. I trust you.
Wait, he asked me while we were eating.
Yeah.
Oh, we were out to eat today. Do you trust me?
Yeah, I did. It was about the crypto thing. If I move a lot of the money into crypto. Currently mine, one day ours. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to sit down and have a conversation about this.
Yeah, that'd be good. We'll put it in the calendar. Maybe we should have it on the podcast, or at least talk about it, and then we can review it. That'll be good. That'll be a good episode. Let us know if you like that in the comments down below. YouTube video, right below the like button. Click it, please. But yeah, you got anything else on risks and opportunities? You got any upcoming risks or opportunities you're going to capitalize on?
Well, I have my exam.
The exam. Well, when is that again?
Right.
Will our next episode be?
It's April 3rd, so we still have one more episode.
Before then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And well, right now I'm doing like a fitness challenge, and I think that's a risk because I'm doing different workouts that I'm not used to doing. So I feel like I'm taking the risk and doing them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
More risks
I'm
to come.
I'm sure there's more. Those are the two big things.
Yeah. I would
Go-
call that CDA thing more of an opportunity.
right. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing. They
Right.
go hand in hand. You think we're good? Cool. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much. As always, this has been our pleasure to chat with you. We had a lot of good questions and stuff like that throughout this episode. So again, definitely hit the comments up. Let us know what you're thinking. The normal stuff, links in the description. Check out that episode from Fueled by Progress if you want to kind of like dig a little deeper into like what the hell I was talking about here. Ask us anything. amandthepmpodcast.com/shop if you want to grab some merch. We thank you so much. There's a lot more to come. We say that every episode, but we're having fun with this. We hope you are as well. We thank you so much for tuning in. This has been another episode of AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.